What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Lando and C show. We're going 3 days in a row strong. It's been a great round one of NBA playoff basketball. This game concludes round one. We have the conference semifinals set, round two, after the conclusion of Memphis and Minnesota. And Memphis got the win, man. Grizzlies got the win in 6. We had no game sevens. Almost every
As
series ended in
as previously mentioned in the last episode, I did mention Memphis was going to clinch it.
did.
They were
I
going to
thought
close
they
it out.
would push a game seven. I thought they would. I thought this would be the one game seven after we had none. But I think round two is probably going to be the land of the game sevens. That's probably going to bring a lot of them in a few
Oh,
of those matchups. But anyway, Grizzlies came out on top 114-106 after yet another comeback in the third and
yeah.
fourth quarter. Just what are you doing, Minnesota? Like, that's all I got to ask. I texted you this. KarlAnthony Towns, he seems to not have the killer instinct, man. Like he seems to just not. He's not there when they need him. He can
I
build a lead, but he can't maintain it. What are you doing? This is playoff
you know what
basketball.
I would say about Cat? I wouldn't say he doesn't have necessarily a killer instinct. I just don't think he's tapped into it. I think he tries to be something he's not, like Draymond has mentioned publicly. He tries to do this tough guy thing. Like, when they won that game in Memphis, I think, or Minnesota, I don't remember which game, but it was a pivotal game. You
Yeah.
know, and he had a really great game. But in the post interview, you could see him talking to the interviewer, like, you know, deepening his voice up a little bit, sound a little bit more Kobe, more macho, more stoic, strong. Like he's just like, no, just another game, just gotta come back. And it's like, why are you doing this? Like,
But he's
I think
trying
he needs,
really hard too. You can see his lips like trying to
yeah,
like tries to conjure up the it's
yeah. He, I just think what Carl needs is somebody that's gonna, you know, kind of like lead him towards that path of like finding that killer in him because I see it. The guy's way too talented, but
I'm not saying
sometimes,
it's not there at all. I'm not saying it's not there at all. I'm just saying it's not there right now. Is what I'm saying.
yeah. This is granted like his actual, like maybe other than that 1 year where they went with Jimmy Butler, his first like real get my feet under there kind of thing and have a good series. Like I know he didn't have a great series all around, but he had his moments, and I think that's where the potential lies. I just think for Cat, he needs to be more instinctually aware of his surroundings and like the scenarios and the context of where the game is, because it was very costly. Luckily for them, in the fourth quarter, he got a flagrant one, and not only did he give them two, granted though, the flagrant one was just like, he's trying to block the ball, accidentally got his head. That's just playoff basketball. And I'm so tired of the league, calling these rules based on legality of the written rule. Fuck all that. It's playoff basketball. You gotta go for it. And he accidentally hit him. And I just think, that was just bad awareness because they had the lead, and you know, the Grizzlies brought it down to one, and they still had possession. Unfortunately, though, granted to Minnesota, they played great defense on that play and caused a turnover. But just like very dumb decisions like that, jacking up a three when you're only down by two with 2.5 minutes left.
Yeah.
It's just those little things, and like having a bunch of foul trouble. You know, he he needs to figure out his awareness. I feel like if he figures that out, his awareness and his confidence within moments like this, you know, Cat's a scary guy. You
Yeah.
know,
He's got a
and
great shot.
I just wish
Yeah.
he would push it down a little lower too.
Yeah, he relies a lot on his shooting as he should. He's got a great shot, but if you want to talk about any silver linings for the Timberwolves, Edwards was great. Edwards played amazing, has been playing amazing. He looks like he's got a really bright future. And as long as Minnesota can keep him and keep him healthy, They got a bright future with him. Beverly was interesting. It was cool to see him be kind of the veteran on that team and play the veteran role. I'm not a huge fan of Beverly, as a lot of people aren't. I don't have anything against him, but
I think the thing with Pat Bev is just he's just one of those guys. You hate him if he's not on your team. You love him if he is.
Yeah, exactly. Russell tonight didn't really show out at all, man. Only 7 points.
Bad showing.
Yeah, Russell's
didn't even close out the game. They put 5'9", I think 5'9", 5'11". I'm probably butchering his first name or not even getting it right at all. Jared McLaughlin. He closed it out for them instead of D'Angelo Russell, which is very showing. I saw moments though where D'Angelo had his moments in the series. Controlled the pace and tempo, and even secured a win for them in one of those playoff games. So I think with this Minnesota team, what we saw today was, a very young team still like trying to, figure out how to win.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say. I feel like Minnesota kind of needs to find their footing almost. That's kind of like what they got to just figure out what they're doing.
Yeah, and they probably need a new coach. No offense to Minnesota's coach, don't got his name, but there are definitely some names out there right now that potentially could be suitors there. And I think one name in particular would be great is maybe Quinn Snyder. Or if this coach is trying to get his feet wet into the NBA pool, the former Villanova coach Jay Wright, just recently retired from Villanova. Rumors are out there that he potentially wants to coach, and that's definitely a spot that he may consider, considering the talent around there. And they're quite young, so it's not such a big adjustment considering he's trying to teach young men how to become men and like win.
Yeah.
In moments like this.
Let's shift gears over to the young winning team, another young team, and in Memphis, the number 2 seed, had a great year. Ja Morant, most improved player, the first ever most improved, that also won Rookie of the Year. Kind of a weird pick in my opinion. There's plenty of other players.
And shout out to Ja Morant. He gave it to his teammate, like the guy that I had winning this year, Desmond Bane.
And Desmond Bane had a better game tonight. Desmond Bane was their guy tonight for the Grizzlies and has been that guy for most of the series, as has Ja Morant. But Bane has looked great, and I think a lot of good things ahead for Bane if he can stay on this track that he's on right now.
And I think, and I don't know which writers voted for Ja Morant, but they clearly haven't been watching the last fucking 2 years of fucking basketball in Memphis. Because how the fuck does a Rookie of the Year get most improved player, and on top of that, in his second year, took a team to the playoffs?
I guess it's just based on stats alone, because his stats did jump a lot this year. He is averaging a lot more points. He is averaging a lot more assists, and I think even rebounds. I could pull that up while you're talking. But yeah, it was an interesting call. There's a good amount of players that could have won it, including Desmond Bane on the Grizzlies.
But I think the thing is with that award too, if stats clearly play a number in it, but also like in any award that these people give, the context of the season and where these, or in this case, the context of the player and where they how far they've come. Because you look at Jordan Poole, he was the 27th pick for the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, he
got assigned to the D League and made, and then rose up from there. And now it's gotten to the point where we're talking about discussions with him being alongside Steph Curry and Klay Thompson as the next Splash Bro. And the same thing with Desmond Bane.
Yeah. So I have his averages up here. In his rookie season, he averaged 17.8 points a game. Next year, he averaged 19. And then this year, he averaged 27. So it jumped significantly in points. As far as let's see. As far as assists, it went down actually because his scoring went up. His assists went down. His rebounds stayed the same, and his minutes
Steals.
were exactly the same. Steals stayed pretty much the same. He averaged 0.9 the
And
first
see, the
2
thing
years,
is,
1.2.
and
So
I guess the reason why these writers gave him the nod is because they probably had no hindsight on the idea that John Morant was going to improve as a player, which is ridiculous because every year he got better and every year the team has risen up. Like, they were a playoff team last year. And John Morant's very young. He has so much growing to do. How can you not expect him to be great? Especially when he's showing out. It would have been like, giving Jason Tatum most improved player after, his
it's
post.
weird. It's really weird to give a rookie of the year most improved just 2 years after he won rookie of the year. It's a weird call. I have Jordan Poole's averages. His rookie season, he averaged 8 points a game. This year, he averaged 18, and 2 more rebounds a game. That went up. 2 more assists a game, and about the same steals per game. So,
And then same thing with Desmond Bane. I'm pretty sure he only averaged 8 points a game, and now averages around 16 to 18.
yeah. There is also if his play improved like this the whole season, it was more kind of the last 3 quarters. I say Jalen Brunson is in that conversation as well.
Yeah.
Brunson was magnificent this year, and still has continued in the playoffs. So yeah, I think there's a lot better calls for that than John Morant. Not to say he didn't improve; he obviously improved, and they're the 2nd seed in a tough Western Conference. But just a strange call. I think we're both on the same page with
Yeah.
that. 2 years
And
after Rookie of the Year.
Memphis definitely, and back to the topic, Memphis, they've shown that they're clearly inexperienced, but they have a lot of talent. I think their biggest X factor this series was Brandon Clark. I think he almost averaged double digits offensive rebounds, dude. I think he had like at least an average of 6 this series.
Yeah.
And what a great call to pull out Steven Adams for him. Because, Steven Adams did not stand a chance against KarlAnthony Towns for some reason. But, Brandon Clark was pivotal, especially considering how much foul trouble Jaren Jackson was getting into every game. I felt like he was averaging 5 fouls a night.
I mean, the Timberwolves in plenty of these games. What was that stat you told me? I mean, they had the game in the bag multiple times.
So out of the 3 games they lost. Oh no. Out of the 4 games they lost, 3 of them they had double-digit leads.
Yeah.
Entering the second half.
I guess that's attributed to their young team. But I
would also say it's probably coaching.
Probably coaching as well. Yeah.
Because in that one game, I think in Memphis, I want to say it was maybe game 5. They were up big, and they didn't make no adjustments or they didn't even call timeouts while Memphis was on that run.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it probably is attributed to coaching somewhat because I mean when your lineup is D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards, and KarlAnthony Towns, and then Beverly as well, able to make some shots like he was making and be the veteran guy, you shouldn't be blowing that many leads, honestly, in a playoff series. You just shouldn't. So I think it's the youth of the team and probably coaching, like you said. So yeah, not that Memphis moves on and they play the Warriors.
And I think this is where their season ends.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't think this is, Memphis may prove me wrong because it's a different matchup. And granted, the weakness for the Warriors is the lack of size. So I think the biggest X factor in this series for Memphis to make it competitive is going to be predicated on Jaren Jackson Jr. and him staying out of foul trouble. Because he will dominate inside the paint if given the opportunity, because they do lack size there. And same thing with Brandon Clark. I don't see him slowing down anytime soon. I think he's going to be an offensive rebounding machine for them. And Golden State's going to have their hands full with rebounding. And but the thing where I see things, switching and kind of like, the Warriors just kind of showing what team they are versus Memphis is, the experience.
Yeah.
There's just no way they're gonna. I just don't see them beating this team. This team has been there and done that, and they don't even look nervous right now. They don't look nervous.
Yeah, and if we get a solid defensive playoff showing from Draymond Green,
which we will get.
Which we will probably get. If we get that and we see that Draymond that we know is there, it's going to be tough for them for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, I don't see the Grizzlies having a great series here. I think this is going to be an extreme. Well, granted, this round against the Minnesota Timberwolves was a great experience for them, but I think this one's going to hurt because they're going to see the levels.
I'd say this next series probably end in 5. I'd maybe give Grizzlies maybe 1 game. Probably end in 5 games. They probably.
I don't want to doubt the Grizzlies so bad like that, because they're definitely a better team than Denver as constructed right now.
Yeah.
But it's just that experience, man. Like, I feel like the only reason why Jokic even got one off those guys is because of the fact, he's been there too.
Yeah.
And he's a superstar, no doubt about it. That controls the game in so many levels.
Yeah, I mean, when you put it in that perspective, it almost seems like they could sweep the Grizzlies, because when you got the Nuggets with Jokic on that team. But I mean, it'll be interesting to see what Morant does.
I think they get one at least, but
I'd say they probably.
I think the max it goes is 2.
I'd say they get 1 home game. They'll get 1 in Memphis, and I think the Warriors will win the rest. That means they'd win 2 games in Memphis as well. That's it. You got any last words? That's the end of the first round. We did videos on all of them. So if you guys missed any, if you want to hear any thoughts from any other rounds, we have 3 other videos. 2 of them consisted of 3 different series we were talking about. We talked about everything that ended on the night we filmed. That's why there's only one game or one series in this video. So round 1's over. Great round of basketball, man. It was fun. I can't wait for round 2. I'm very excited for it, and just looking forward to the rest of the playoffs. I guess as a Mavs fan, I probably would want the Grizzlies to beat the Warriors, right? Like,
yeah, but as a basketball, as someone analyzing the game, though, you see the levels to this, and Memphis isn't there with Golden State yet.
They're not there, but as a Mavericks fan, I can hope that the Grizzlies maybe take them to 6 or something to tire them out a little bit, because they didn't have to go too long against the Nuggets at all. They only went.
Well, don't get ahead of yourself, Landon. You got your Mavericks going to the conference finals already. They still got to get through Phoenix.
You're right. I'm just saying if they make it.
I know.
It's getting down there, man. The brackets are getting closer, and it's been a long time. It's been over a decade since I've seen that Mavericks logo inching closer to the championship, man, on the brackets. So let me have my moment, bro.
Yeah, enjoy it while it lasts.
I'll have a good 4 or 5 years of this, dude. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to Luka Magic for the next few years. But
I guess my last words for the series in Minnesota, since they are the team that is departing from the playoffs. Obviously don't keep your head down. This is like, people did not expect them to be here. They did more than what the outcome was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And they wrote their own story on how the season was going to go. And shout out to Cat, because it takes a lot to drive a team there. And I see all this slander about Cat and stuff like that. We got to also recognize all the shit that he's been through during the pandemic, losing like 7 family members, including your mom.
That was a lot.
And then going through all the the naysayers talking about he can't do this, he can't lead a team to a playoffs, and when is he gonna show some leadership and show some initiative? Now what? The man's made it to the playoffs. He gave a number 2 seed a run for their money. Granted, a lot of mistakes happened for them to give up that playoff series. They could have easily won this series.
They could have won this series. They had so many
games to 1.
Yeah, they had so many leads.
But you know what? That comes with this experience, and I just want to give kudos to Cat for having a great season this year, and even going as far as this postseason run, because it's a lot, man. Losing a parent like that, it's like losing a piece of you, man, and it's a lot to go through. And and the Wolves got Anthony Edwards and D'Angelo Russell and Pat Bev and Jared Vanderbilt, and I forgot the kid that went off tonight. I might have just said his name, but he had 23 points. But they should hold their head up high. I think the best move for them in this scenario would be to find a coach that has been in these predicaments and can command these guys into victory rather than kind of blow it. Find a guy that can galvanize the guys, hold this sweep, because at the end of the day they lost this series more than the Grizzlies won this series.
Yeah.
If that makes even any remote sense.
It does. That's true. Yeah.
Okay, and I just want to give a shout out to Jaden McDaniels. Had a career high tonight. 24 points.
Jaden McDaniels.
So, bright future ahead for Minnesota. They definitely got to, use this as motivation and fuel to come back next year stronger, because Utah's not going to be there. Clippers will be back. The Pelicans look sexy too. And there's already a quote from Zion talking about, of course, he's going to sign that extension. That's the only thing he ever thought. So, they're going to get stronger with Zion. That's a deep team right there. And you're adding Zion.
Why are you talking about the Pelicans all of a sudden?
No, I'm just mentioning what Minnesota has to go through,
okay.
in this Western Conference, to come back into this position in the playoffs again. Utah's not going to be there no more, but the Pelicans will be in the mix. Who else is going to be in the mix? The Clippers will be in the mix. The Lakers, as sorry as we are and dysfunctional as we are, will be in the mix. And all these teams that are in there right now, and then on top of that, you still got Phoenix, Golden State, Dallas, Denver, that are going to be contenders consistently throughout the season. So the West is only going to get tougher.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Just the level of play is looking great. I'll end with this. Ja Morant has played against Steph Curry 4 times in his career. He averages 24 points, 7 assists, and 4.5 rebounds against Stephen Curry. So do with that what you will. But
unfortunately, though, I'm pretty sure that assignment is probably going to be given to Klay Thompson.
Probably, yeah. We'll see if he can keep up, though.
We'll see, yeah. That Achilles injury and then that ACL injury. It's tough to come back from.
It'll be an interesting series, but yeah, I think the Warriors got it, and probably in 5. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
That's it for this video. Yeah, so the Grizzlies take care of business in Minnesota. Another comeback victory for them, and that sets up round 2. Conference semifinals are upon us, starting on Sunday with the Celtics game, and who are they facing?
Celtics, Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, Jesus. Celtics in the
Man, 10 a.m. That's an early game. We got to be up early.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. So, thank you guys for watching. As always, please chime in down below. Let us know what you think about these playoffs so far and everything like that. And let us know any more.
Solid 9 right now, Landon. Solid 9.
Okay, great. I can't wait for the actual finals just to see who makes it and see the finals. See, the finals are so exciting always. So I'm looking forward to that. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.
Peace.